In this corner, weighing 50,000 tons and in need of one gigantic banana, Kong. And in this corner, weighing in at a tough 90,000 tons and just getting off a popsicle binge nap, Godzilla. Who will win in this match of WWE Monster guys?
Wait, you aren't supposed to team up. Oh, no, why are you coming this way? Hey, get away. No touching, no touching. Get away.
Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, is the follow-up to 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong, a movie I really enjoyed and was really fun to argue in friend groups on who would win. Spoiler alert, you should just see the movie to know for yourself, but, there's a reason someone's name is getting top billing. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge. This movie picks up sometime after, where Kong lives in Hollow Earth and Godzilla roams the surface before being called to a threat deep below in the earth in the form of the Scar King. Adam Wingard returns to direct and has previously claimed this new installment will make you feel like a kid going down the toy aisle, alluding to the fact that this movie will be even more over the top. Which, if you've seen Godzilla vs. Kong, you know that movie got pretty bonkers, so this is quite the statement. Honestly, I feel like that previous movie balanced the over-the-top and remaining grit left in the franchise pretty well, so that got me a tad skeptical of the tone of this new MonsterVerse movie, especially after seeing the much more grounded masterpiece that is Godzilla -1 last year. And yeah, this movie definitely lives up to what Wingard said. It feels like the monsters and titans that show up in this movie are very colorful and bombastic, much like an action figure product. Several monsters even get their own cool accessory weapon, with their own special abilities to battle each other. It really brings the 80s Saturday morning cartoon vibe to life, and that toy aisle feel Wingard was going for. The plot is nothing spectacular, but it is a great vehicle for all the titan-pounding action. Kong feels alone while exploring Hollow Earth, this really cool world between worlds, which I really love the design, it's pretty crazy looking, before discovering a deeper lair that seems to house some mysterious giant ape race similar to him. Meanwhile, Godzilla's little plot seems like a literal monster of the week, like in Scooby-Doo or other action mystery cartoons. Except this is more of a monster of the scene type thing, as Zilla is attracted to some type of mysterious force, and he must battle whatever is in his path to get there. As you could probably tell, Kong is more of the main character of this movie, as we follow his journey out of loneliness to leadership amongst other titans. Though the main plots are pretty straightforward, there's some awesome extended kaiju-only scenes in the movie, where Kong is interacting with other titans, and this is where the motion capture acting really shines. Like, I felt all the little nuanced emotions and acting in these scenes, especially a scene between Kong and the baby Kong, Zuko. The motion capture acting is superb, and it sucks that these guys will remain basically anonymous and not get their flowers in bringing these scenes to such life. And seriously, I tried to look this up. I tried to look up these names for who did the mocap, and I can't find them online. Or at least it's not that accessible yet. But yeah, the mocap acting made me believe a monster-only movie could possibly work in the future if Legendary ever tried to pull it off. I think it's possible. And could be pretty interesting to watch. Alright, let's get into characters. I'm going to gloss over the human characters since while they are serviceable, they aren't going to be the standouts of a monster movie filled with more interesting kaiju monsters. Let's get that out of the way right now. Rebecca Hall and Brian Tyree Henry's characters return from Godzilla vs. Kong, as well as the young Kaylee Hotel? Yeah, that one. Hall is the lead researcher, Lene Andrews, and is good at avoiding the dry performance sometimes associated with these type of roles. That brings a lot of exposition. So, good on her. Brian Tyree Henry is the conspiracy theorist, podcaster Bernie Hayes, and acts as the comic relief, and I think he toes the line fairly well between going overboard into annoying territory. Though I feel like there were a few moments where this character really could have gone there, but he avoided it. And then Kaylee Hodel, whatever, does a fair job as the silent Gia, who is the last of her tribe from Hollow Earth and shares a connection with Kong. Though her and Kong's relationship feels much more sidelined compared to the previous film, she's still good at selling that earnest longing of her character and gets a little more to do later in the film. And finally, I loved the addition of Dan Stevens to the cast, and his character was really fun and kooky as this cool, hippie, kind of Titan veterinarian named Trapper. No, I do not know if his mom gave him that name. He bounces off of Tyree Henry's character perfectly, though. His character is also the one that brings the movie's musical flavor to the forefront, with the synthy 80s music being the backbone of the music tracks in this film, and again delivers that 80s over-the-top vibe. Now let's talk about monsters, or as they're called in this universe, Titans. Starting off, I found the main enemy Scar King to be an interesting design. When first hinted at in the trailers, I wasn't impressed with just another ape giant.
Except this time, he's orange!
But his lanky, almost spider-like arms, along with his crazy sadistic personality, really made me like him a lot more than I thought I would. He proves to be more of a clever foil to Kong, as while he puts up a good fight, he relies more on weapons and strategy and control of another monster. Which, I don't know if this is much of a spoiler because they put it in the trailers, at least the later trailers. Don't watch trailers, everybody. Anyway, but Scar King controls the other Titan that acts more of a dragon Godzilla counterpart named Shamu. I keep wanting to call him Shamu, like the killer whale from SeaWorld, but the name's pretty close. It's pretty close. Instead of fiery atomic breath like Godzilla, Shamu has powerful ice breath that apparently caused the ice ages. So that's pretty powerful, especially since we got 5 family animated movies out of it. Franchising, baby! I like that just like Godzilla and Shamu are counterparts, Kong and Scar King both use power-laced weapons that have crystals or plates pertaining to their lizard monster equivalent. Kong still has that axe made from one of Godzilla's plates from the last movie, and Scar King has a long, spiky bone whip with a sharp crystal at the end that controls Shamu. I found Zuko to be a welcome addition, being the sort of baby Kong of the journey, with them actually avoiding some of the cute creature tropes popularized by the likes of Baby Yoda, and actually has a slight snarling little stinker quality to him. I felt like it made the character a little more unique and nuanced, delivering subtle pain and a lack of trust in others. Him and Kong's dynamic is great, almost acting like a version of a buddy cop movie as they bond, and that dynamic changes as their journey goes on. I also like how Kong and Godzilla received their upgrades in the movie through the plot, and definitely distinguishes them from past films, as well as it helps them fit into this more action figure feeling monster design that the movie is going for. This is definitely the most colorful MonsterVerse movie. Godzilla's fiery pink scale form and Kong's yellow, almost infinity gauntlet just adds to this. Speaking of which, the first time I saw the trailer, I low-key thought it was a Transformers movie because that glove looked a lot like Bumblebee's hand. Just saying. The action in this series continues to be great and bombastic as the monster's more action figure-like designs brings even more over-the-top action that's really fun to watch. The CGI effects I found to be pretty good, but there was a few times I felt like they got a little lackluster than the previous films in the series. Overall though, these Godzilla and Kong movies continue to be pretty consistent on bringing these colossal creatures to life and making their actions believable. Again, this movie does well of running in the opposite direction of Godzilla Minus One on the dichotomy of giant monster movies, where that film was more about the symbolism, narrative, and gritty force of its creature. Godzilla x Kong is more of the over-the-top, balls-to-the-wall action of monster fights and crossovers. It is kind of funny to see that this franchise evolved from a more grounded take similar to -1 with Godzilla 2014 to this more over-the-top, nearly WWE wrestling fighting feel in this movie. But at any rate, the movie sets the tone right away with Godzilla literally running into battle in Rome. Yes, Godzilla has been working on his calisthenics between movies or something. Because he's a runner, he's a track star now. Also, apparently he can jump now, which is a little wild looking considering this guy used to just lumber around. Also, to add to the over-the-top pudding of this movie, I like how the movie plays around with these monsters being attracted to famous landmarks and the wonders of the world, as Godzilla literally sleeps like a cat in the Roman Colosseum. Like, that's great stuff right there. So, yeah, this movie delivers on the cheesy monster action while still surprising me on the depths of some of the Titans' relationships displayed through their mocap acting. I felt like it perfectly fit in the toy aisle vibe director Adam Wingard was going for, without going too ridiculous that it's just stupid to watch. It's just monster battling fun with a straightforward plot that doesn't get too convoluted and a lot of entertaining action. Definitely don't go into this one expecting a meditative Godzilla -1. This is for sure a film that focuses on the chaotic bonkers action of giant monster movies, and with that direction, it succeeds. So with that, I'd give the movie a 7.5 out of 10, or maybe an 8. I'd have to watch both films back to back, but as of right now, I remember enjoying Godzilla vs. Kong more, as it was bonkers but still had a nice grit to it. I was also in a tired mood while watching this movie, so I felt some scenes dragged for me. But that being said, next time I watch it in a better mood, the ranking might go up higher for me. So Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Did you like the movie? Are you more of a serious, grandiose kaiju film person, or more of a punching WWE style movie monster person? Let me know down below. This has been just another... Oh, I gotta go. Wait a second. I'm a computer clone. I can control this stuff. Come here, Godzilla. Let's go!